Scentland, the land of scent. Huh. Hello and welcome everybody, it's Chris here, back with yet another fragrance review. Actually, this one is a simple ad hoc sample vial review, simple sample review, okay? Cheers to that, afternoon coffee. And so, nice one. And here we go. This is the subject of today's simple sample review. Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Here you have the traditional Pasha shaped bottle, okay? And the vial obviously inside that I got like 2 days ago. So I was kind of indulging into this fragrance in the past 2 days. You know, not a lot because obviously it's just a vial. So my review today is just going to reflect on those experiences that I was able to gather so far using this fragrance inside and outside. Okay, so that is my aim for this one. And then probably once I get a full size bottle, because I will get it, it's very nice, I will use it for a week, then I'll be able to give you a more in-depth insight into my experience with Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Parfum is a flanker of the Pasha line, along with Mint and Edition Noir Sport, and so on and so on. And the brand itself has a fairly precious spot in my heart, because my mother used to smoke in the 70s, 80s, even up to the 90s, and one of her favorite brands was, actually, believe it or not, Cartier. It came in a very nice white box, very elegant box, obviously Cartier being a very famous high-end luxury jeweler brand, okay? And so even the cigarette boxes reflected that, much like Dunhill had this elegance of a British brand represented in a box of cigarettes, or Trussardi as well at those days, in those days. Now today, if you look at all these brands, you know how the cigarette boxes, like you want to really vomit, because it's just horrible. And I know smoking kills, and you shouldn't promote cigarettes. I'm not doing that. But looking at the Cartier box back in 1987 was a delight, and it did not push me to smoke at 15. I was just, you know, marveling at a wonderfully designed cigarette box. Now I see dead people on the cigarette box. Not so alluring, okay? So that's my opinion about current political correctness being put on a box of cigarettes, even though it should repel people, which it should, because smoking is not good for you, okay? So that much about my experience with the brand Cartier. So it was close to my heart, because obviously these beautiful cigarette boxes and associated with my beloved mother, who smoked those cigarettes, okay? But at the same time, Pasha, the name Pasha, you know, this noble Indian person, was never really appealing to me. The reason was that I imagined, maybe from movies, that a Pasha is very, you know, big and chubby. And so I couldn't relate to that. It was not like me, you know, I couldn't relate to the figure Pasha. So I immediately went, you know, Pasha, like, I'm not a Pasha type of guy, you know, it's not for me. What a stupid ignorance that was from my side, because almost all Pashas or fragrances from the Pasha line actually were very nice. The mint version, the Edition Noir version, Edition Noir Sport, not so much, but the Noir, yes. And this one, absolutely beautiful. Martin Laurent is the parfumeur behind this fragrance. Again, household name, guarantee for quality fragrances, okay, high quality fragrances. And this is what we get. So when I smell this, it's very relaxing, okay? It's definitely a fragrance that I say, you know, it puts you in a mood where nothing bad can happen to you. You're just in your spot, you know your values, and your life is going into the right direction. This is how this smells, okay? And if you look at the notes here, there is a very, very prominent backbone of this fragrance, which is the sandalwood. Sandalwood is persistently and dominantly present throughout the entire development of this fragrance. Absolutely, that's the backbone of this fragrance. But it could be boring, too linear. But there's little bits and pieces that help this linear sandalwood backbone be persistently interesting. Okay, with its great longevity, that's very important, because afterwards it could, after 2 hours of sandalwood, it could get fairly boring, right? But it doesn't get boring, and the reason is that you have a very nice fern and an interplay between a green interplay between fern and patchouli leaf in here. So there's more depth than just the woodiness. There's some green little tickle that you get along with the sandalwood, as well as some sort of a liquor feel, liquor aroma, not nearly as boozy as with Bentley Intense, for example, but it's a detectable, okay? But it's very refined. It's very, very refined. Some tonka bean adds a sweetness, but just slightly, okay? And that's it. That's a bit of benzoin as well, which I very much like. And in the old days, 70s, early 90s, there were several fragrances that had benzoin that really made the difference here. It's not so prominent here, but it's there. It makes it special. It makes it somehow probably more refined smelling, along with the tonka bean as well. I think their interplay, the same way like the fern and the patchouli, the tonka bean and the benzoin are playing very nicely with each other. And throughout the entire theme, the sandalwood is persistently present throughout the entire development, which is on my skin with this sample. Again, it's not a full wearing. I couldn't spray it underneath the shirt and that, just on skin, maybe on a little bit of hair, but it's going on throughout the entire day, as far as I can tell at this point, okay? No matter what sort of size of bottle you have, this is not a fragrance that you overspray, because less is more with this one. I think it's very French smelling, very stylish, so you don't have to push this over the cliff, okay? Because it might backfire, because if you use too much of this, it can be a little bit too much, because it's a strong fragrance in a sense that it's a parfum concentration, and it really is. This is not just bullshit parfum. This is indeed parfum. You can smell it. The consistency, the thickness of the fragrance tells you that this is a parfum and not just called parfum, okay? And so altogether, it's a very refined, very French, very elegant, very versatile, definitely signature material here, all year around. It's not a summer heat fragrance, okay? But for summer evenings already, it has a bit of freshness. It's never too dark, it's never too heavy. It doesn't sit on your shoulder like, so it's not, it has this little play. It has a little bit of humor in it. I like that a lot. And I find with lots of, many times when I have a blind smell or blind taste fragrances, and I find this humorous aspect is many times those fragrances have a female parfumeur standing behind the blend, okay? Because somehow female parfumeurs very much understand to put in that little bit of extra, that little bit of humor, that little bit of je ne sais quoi into a fragrance brand or blend that makes it very appealing to me, okay? So I could name names like Christine Nagel, Nathalie Lorson, Béatrice Piquet, the late great Béatrice Piquet used to be an absolute master, and let's just check Linston de Guerlain. Wow, okay, so this is what I mean. And Mathilde Doran, definitely one of them. So I have this French little je ne sais quoi, this little humor, this little extra elegance, okay, in here, definitely. And all this after just wearing a little bit of a sample for 2 days, okay? So I'll be coming back with a full review, because I'm gonna get a bottle of this, because I really feel I can wear it, it is mine, it feels good to wear it. And you're even going into the summer, it feels good. It enhances your overall spirit and makes the day a better day. And what else can you, want from a fragrance? And so very much looking forward to get my first Pasha de Cartier. And I've been eyeballing the Edition Noire as well, so I might get on my hands on that as well. But first, Pasha de Cartier Parfum, a full bottle is going to be arriving soon, and it's going to be reviewed soon. So thanks very much for your kind attention. I'll be back. This was Chris from Scentland, the land of scent.